All right. Hello. Um, just wanted to get on here and talk about, the time I took a job at Live Nation, trying to get on the concert, get to see more concerts and get paid while I was doing it. All this talk about the Ticketmaster Live Nation monopoly that they got going on. And like Taylor Swift tickets being through the roof, and it's not just with Taylor Swift, but that's what really made them start paying attention. I guess it just reminded me of when I was really trying to see Jasmine Sullivan, and I couldn't get tickets or whatever. So yeah, so this was in January. I was going to a 90s R&B. Well, not going to. I went to a 90s R&B kickback performance. It had Belle Biv DeVoe, 112, and a bunch of other people on the bill. And at the concert with my friend, and we're just looking, enjoying the concert. And I noticed an older lady that was working at the concert, and she was ushering people and showing them to their seats. But once a lot of people get seated, it's not much for her to do until the end. So she had a chair and she just was moving and grooving, enjoying the concert. And light bulb. I'm like, shoot, I wonder how much or how to get on, because I wasn't even concerned about the pay. I already had a job at this time. I was working part time. So, um, I'm a wife and mama for, so I was working part time at 911 because the schedule and stuff was just so crazy, and it just worked better for my family. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, it wasn't about the money, but I'm just like, I love going to concerts. Like, that's pretty much what I do. I'm a fun girl. Like, when I was in my 20s, I was in the club, down to the bar, and I still like to be outside, but now you can find me like at a comedy club or at some kind of live music or concert. If it's like an R&B group coming out, some rap coming out, gospel music, I'm probably gonna get tickets and go to their concert. Like my husband, he loves music. He actually sings and raps. He writes some stuff. He has a song called Tonight. You can stream it on all platforms. Shameless plug. But yeah, all that to say, we love live music. So why not try to make a little money, shoot, some spending money, maybe some gas money. I wasn't sure how much it was gonna be, and sit down and enjoy concerts. So I go ahead and apply. And that's when I recognized, like, yo, Live Nation and Ticketmaster really run most of the venues. So at that particular venue that I got the idea at, it was called Texas Trust in Grand Prairie. They hired through a different company, and I never heard anything from them. But I just started applying at different venues around my area. So I get an email like a month or so later saying, "Hey, we're having a job fair. You can come on these 2 dates," and I happened to be working on those 2 days. So I just emailed them and was like, "Hey, I can't make it to those days, but is there another way that I could come in and interview?" So she calls me, phone interview, get that out the way. They do a bit of a background check, and they're like, just show up to orientation. So I go to orientation. They show me the system that you use to sign up for events, and the best part of it was that it's like work as you need. They didn't have a minimum of hour. Well, they don't have a minimum of hours that you have to work. Just sign up. They understand that things can happen. They were just like, please let us know if you have to cancel. Don't no show no call, which is reasonable. So I'm like, okay, I'm in there. So I saw that Jasmine Sullivan was coming. I was like, you know what? I don't want to work an event for somebody that I really love. I want to be a patron. I want to be a concert goer. I want to sip a little something and be singing along. So, I decided like, hey, I'm gonna try to buy Jasmine Sullivan concert tickets on my own, and then we'll see what happens. So I'm in the waiting room, and I couldn't even get the pre-sale code for the Jasmine Sullivan tickets because apparently you had to have like your streams on Spotify be in the top 1% in order to get that pre-sale code. And I was so shocked that I wasn't in the top 1% because I listen to her all the time, but it turns out I was in the top 2%, so I didn't get the pre-sale code. And pretty much the concert sold out at pre-sale. So there were a few seats here and there. I was talking to my friend Donita that I go to a bunch of concerts with, and we texting each other as we're in the waiting room like, hey, I see seats here. From the time that I just backed out a moment to text her, I saw seats sold out. I could have cried. I could have cried. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to sign up to work at the Jasmine Sullivan concert because I'm gonna be in there whether I'm working or a patron. I was gonna find a way to get in there. So I signed up for the Jasmine concert, and I'm like, you know what? I need to make sure I work an event beforehand so I can get the lay of the land, see what really goes on. Are you really going to be able to work in the house? Can I try to pick somewhere where I'm working right at the front so I can, I'm going to still work hard, but while I'm ushering people to their seats, I want to be able to listen to the music, And I have a group chat. It was so funny because one of my friends on the group chat was like, watch you be at the front and never even see the concert. And I was like, no, they had different positions you're applying for. They had a front door worker. They had security. They had people doing the ticket scanners. And they had greeters and ushers. And I said, who works in the house? That's where I'm trying to be. So I signed up for this concert. Jesse and Joy is a Mexican pop duo. And I mean, I like to say I'm well versed in music, but I ain't gonna lie. Normally, if I'm riding somewhere or in the house, if I'm listening to music, it's gonna be gospel music, R&B, a little hip hop, or rap. Not really pop, and definitely not Mexican pop because I don't speak Spanish. But I do like music, so just I knew it wouldn't be bad just sitting in there listening to the music. So I go and they have like the huddle beforehand telling you what the concert is going to be like, assigning people to different tasks. And they're like, okay, if you're working in the house, come over this way, but we do need some volunteers to scan tickets and do the metal detectors. So, I'm talking all this noise like I'm just here for the concerts, but at the end of the day, if I sign up to do a job, I'm gonna work hard, and if they need volunteers to help with something, I'm like, okay, I'm new, let me go on and volunteer and help at the front. I'm like, I'm not really comfortable with the metal detector because I thought that was like a security thing, but apparently, it makes sense. You would need security in the house dealing with people and making sure the artist is protected. So, they have regular people. They train you well. It made me feel safer going to concerts, I will say, seeing the in and outs and how much they focus on concert goer safety. Because they train you and stuff on using the metal detector and checking the bags. So they legit had me checking people's bags. That was one part that was uncomfortable for me though, because like they have this rule where, and I think that's pretty much all venues, you can't just bring your biggest Barney bag or your biggest purse to a concert. Like, you need to carry a little clutch. Their rule is pretty ridiculous to me. It has to be like an index size, the size of an index card, so pretty much like a small wallet, or it has to be clear. And even if it's clear, it can't be that big. And they did have a few bags, but it was first come, first serve. So like, okay, if you could fit everything in this clear bag, empty the contents of the bag, put it in the clear bag, you could carry it. Otherwise, you had to go to your car. So, people kind of had an attitude about that. But I'm like, hey, it is what it is. When you buy the tickets, they make sure they let you know that you can't come in there with a big bag. So, come on. So, that was just a bust. I was like, this can't happen when I'm working at the Jasmine Sullivan concert, because I was literally at the front door. They told us like, maybe we had about 10 minutes. They were like, okay, y'all can take turns like just going in if you want to see the concert for a little bit. I was like, oh, that won't work for Jasmine. I want to be inside. So fast forward a few days later, it turns out that Jasmine Sullivan had got COVID and she had to postpone coming. And I was like, dang, that sucks. Thankfully, she didn't get like deathly ill. So with her postponing, it worked out that at this particular venue they have indoor and outdoor seating. So she was going to be in there in February, and it was going to be too cold to have the outdoor seating. But when she rescheduled it, I think it was for March or April. Yeah, April. So they were able to open the outdoor seating. So they added like 4,000 seats. Did not wait. I bought my tickets immediately. I bought my line seats because, of course, inside was still full because they um, made sure that they redeemed the previous purchase for people who already bought their tickets, you know? So the thing that makes it so shameful with Ticketmaster and stuff is just like they know that all these robots are in here buying stuff. So like a line ticket that should have been like $60, people were selling them for like $300. And I love the music, but I'm not paying $300 for a line seat. That's why it's like Live Nation and Ticketmaster, no, they need to be ashamed of themselves for that. Plus all the fees they add. Like I saw a meme, I'ma try to add it, where it's like Ticketmaster fees are like you breathe in our air $17, convenience fee $18, processing fee $20. What you gonna do? Not go fee $3. It's like crazy. All you want to do is go out, enjoy some live music. Cause like I said, like that's what I do for fun. I like live music. I have like a bucket list of artists that I want to see, and Jasmine Sullivan was on that list. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to see her, but we'll get back to it. I had Usher, Lucky Day, Jasmine Sullivan, and Ari Lennox. I saw Usher when he first was in Vegas at the Caesar's Palace with my husband. That show was phenomenal. Everything I hoped it would be. And it actually was so good. You know, he moved to MGM, and I'm going on a girls trip in July because I want to see what it's like at the new venue. And plus, I just want to go with my friends, with my good girlfriends, because it's a difference with the husband trip and your girls trip. So I'm excited about that. I saw Lucky Day in Houston. So that was a bit of a rough it was a bit rough getting to the concert because it rained. It was supposed to be at a different venue. They had to switch it inside. The line was wrapped around the building, but I got in there. It ended up being like a standing room only concert, but it was worth it. Lucky Day can sing. He puts on such a good show. He has so much passion. Both of my, the two on my bucket list that I have seen lived up to it at that point. And then when I saw Jasmine, she lived up to it. That concert was phenomenal. She lost her voice, I think she was saying, and she was like apologetic. And I'm like, if this is what you apologizing for, I can't imagine her at 100%, because she put her heart and soul into performing, and I was just singing along. Like I said, I'm skipping ahead. I'm gonna get back to that. And Ari Lennox, though, Ari Lennox will be here in February, so I'll be able to get all the top 4 artists that I listen to the most and have been wanting to see. I'm gonna be there seeing them, so that's exciting. I'm so glad the world is back open and we can go to concerts. It is still nerve wracking and stuff, but I'm just happy to be enjoying live music again. So, but yeah, so once I got my tickets, because like I was saying, their rule is they understand stuff changes because you sign up for stuff weeks in advance. They just ask that you don't no call, no show, just take yourself off, because they have like a pending schedule. So like you can sign up for some stuff, and then like the day before they make it like in stone. So at that point, as soon as I bought the tickets, it all had switched up within like a week. I signed up like that Monday. They opened up more seats like a few days later. Took myself off the list. Okay, so in between that time, in between the concert coming, I wanted to work another event because I was also thinking about working Summer Walker. Even though I wasn't going to work the Jasmine Sullivan anymore, I was thinking about working the Summer Walker event. So I signed up to work. The guy's name is Bon Iver. And what Kiki Palmer say, sorry to this man, I did not know who that man was, but apparently he is very famous. He had a packed house, and his show was really good. Like, so I figured out how to work in the house at that particular concert. When they asked for volunteers to go to the front, don't volunteer. Say you want to work in the house. It was easy. So overall, I feel like doing a part-time usher gig is not a bad way to get in and see some concerts, And of course, you're not gonna just sit there and not really work, but you soaking up the music as you're working, walking around, meeting people. So overall, I think it's a good alternative if you can't get the tickets to a concert you want to go to. You do need to make sure you're working though. Don't try to scam these people because they be watching you like, hey, what you doing? Don't just like linger around. Show the people to their seats and you can still enjoy the music, Because like I said, I'd never heard of Bon Iver and shoot, I downloaded a few songs once I was at that concert. But yeah, thanks for watching. That's the time I took a job at Ticketmaster just to see Jasmine Sullivan. And still paid for the tickets. But it's all good. Thanks for watching.